Side up, one foot in front of the other. Can understand the words coming out of my mouth. What's happening? Welcome in to another edition of the Breaking Bread radio program right here on Birmingham's Real Talk 99.5. Coming to you today live, as always, from the Redland Rifle Studio Complex inside of Redland Rifle Company. Highway 280, if you're looking for some peace of mind and to protect the ones you love, swing on by. Long guns, short guns, all the guns, plus all the accessories and the ammo to make them go boom. RedlandRifleCo.com for more information. You know where it is. Come see us. Brought to you today, the show, as always, is again, Vapor Forge, Highway 280, strong 8-iron just down the road. Next to Bailey Brothers Music, great selection, great prices, great service. If you smoke cigarettes way too long like I did, understand that it's a codependent situation. You're spending a bunch of money, a bunch of time, a bunch of effort, loving something. Its intention is to kill you. It don't love you back. It's doing nothing but make your breath stink and your clothes smell and your food not taste as good as it should. Go check out one of them smooth tobacco flavored vapes and see if it don't get you dead. Tell them the Chub Father sent you. Vaporforge.com. We are joined today. We're super excited. We've been waiting to have this conversation for a minute now, for sure. Mr. Eric Crocker himself, as well as Tim Blackman from units of Birmingham. So, AJ, why don't you keep things moving with Crocker Moving Services?
All right, we'll definitely do that. Appreciate everybody. Hey, you know what? It's such an honor to have Eric Crocker in the with us. First,
don't screw
Eric,
it up.
how's everything going?
Hey, how's it going? Glad to be here.
Good. And Chris, I think you met my wife. You know my wife, Glenice, as well. You do the units, you said, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. A little small world right here. I love almost kind of like a little get together here, but I'm just really I don't think I really got a chance to say this to you real quick, Eric, but I really appreciate what you do there at Crocker Moving Services.
Thanks.
We hear a lot of greatness from all the listeners who called in, and sometimes I don't get a chance to say things on the air, but I hear a lot, and people will say, man, I reached out to Crocker, and these guys are efficient. They know how to do the job and do it right and make sure your stuff is taken care of. And I know sometimes you don't hear that a lot, because sometimes, when you do what you do, you don't know the effort that you put in is something that is rewarded with graciousness and kindness. But I do have to say, people really appreciate your dedication, the way you hire people, just the I guess the work ethic that you really push out each and every single day. So I get excited when I see your trucks out and about, and so I just want to just say personally, thank you for what you do.
Hey, my pleasure. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So, but if you need a great moving company, look, you need the right one, and the right one is Crocker Moving Services. So go check them out. No matter how big or small the move is, that 2-hour rate is phenomenal. So go check them out. CrockerMovingServices.com, CrockerMovingServices.com. All right, so let's get into the things you should know real quick. So the first one, we already know Father's Day is just around the corner. And Cat's Deli up in New York City. Anyone been to Cat's Deli before?
JD has. Haven't you been to Cats?
Where? What?
In New York City. Not the play. Don't get excited. We're not talking about the musical.
I thought you was talking about the musical.
No, I know.
Yeah, I've been
I
there.
saw you perk up.
I've been to Broadway. Maybe. I don't know.
For some reason, I thought you said you had gotten a pastrami.
Grimaldi's.
Oh, Grimaldi's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Grimaldi's. Okay.
Yeah. I guarantee my
Yeah.
brother-in-law and sister-in-law have been in there.
Yeah. Well, Cat's Deli is coming out with an Ultimate Father's Day deli package. Well, of course, you get some of their famous pastrami, the bread, the mustard, the pickle, and you could build your own Cat's Deli sandwich.
I think the pastrami in Chicago beats the pastrami in New York City. And just a personal opinion.
I mean, how do you know?
Oh, I've eaten lots of pastrami in New York.
Oh, have you?
Just not for.
Oh, you haven't been to California.
I haven't been to California.
That's right. Okay.
No. No, I've been to New York a bunch.
I bet the pastrami in California is amazing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to see, like the laws and regulations there for smoking meat are pretty they're almost as draconian as their gun laws.
Really?
I try to
Absolutely.
stay out of California personally. I'll move someone there, or generally out of it. But we
But get the hell out of there as quickly as possible.
I don't understand how businesses are still in California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so pretty. It's a dry heat.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much all they got. If it wasn't for the scenery, then the cost of living in California is it's ridiculous. Chipotle is coming out with a stainless steel Chipotle card, where that gets you free burritos for a whole entire year. But
Nice.
the catch is it's very, very small.
The burrito is?
No, the card.
Oh.
Okay, it was a bad joke. I'm sorry. That was bad. All right, let's try it again. All right, Chipotle is coming out with a stainless steel card, and since their whole portion control thing was very small,
Right.
the card is very small, but you can get you a free burrito for a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We talked about this enough times. Like if you've been shut down by the health department enough times for, making people sick, I'm good.
Yeah, I watched the health department ratings that they published online, and I was like, not going to eat there anymore.
Yeah.
Man,
Well,
I'll rock a
there's a
Chipotle all day long. What are y'all talking about?
Hey, do you, brother?
I will.
hey. Well, I mean, he does have probably the intestines of like a
He
steel
does.
guy,
He,
so,
he had
yeah.
enough. He had enough MREs and everything else out of necessity that he's got that cast iron stomach.
I don't have a problem eating
Yeah.
anything.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
This is broccoli. Unless it's Bruce Lee's brother.
Or Brussels sprouts.
Oh, yeah. No,
Cabbage in general
Yeah, you can have that.
is a hard pass for you. You would never make a good pull walk.
Well, speaking of
Shucks.
veggies, if you were in South Korea, Subway is launching a limited time cucumber sandwich. So it's basically cucumbers and mayonnaise
Yuck.
between two slices of bread.
Yeah, no, I'm
Good.
good.
Yeah?
Good. I do
don't
like
sound
when
appetizing?
I do love I forget what they call it. Nori Thai has a roll that instead of using seaweed to wrap around the rice, they use a super thin cucumber. It's pretty tasty. They do like a little vinegar ponzo sauce with it and some spicy tuna. It's
Interesting.
quite delectable.
It sounds delicious. Yeah. And then finally, Blue Diamond. Blue Diamond, the peanut nut,
nut
almost
company.
kind of like Planters and all that stuff. They're teaming up with 7-Eleven to come out with a cherry Slurpee flavored almond.
Oh, I just knew you were going to say it was going to be curry something.
Nah, it's gonna be a almond flavor Slurpee, cherry flavor. That does not sound appealing at all.
Cherry and nuts in a Slurpee?
Nope.
No, the nuts have the cherry Slurpee kind of flavoring on top
Oh.
of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe I could do that. I'll have to get a can and see.
We give it
Yeah,
a shot
nah.
once.
Yeah.
Nah.
Outside of that, you can have that nonsense.
Right.
I'm gonna have to change it instead of things you should know. Be like, nah, I'm good. That's gonna be what we're gonna call this thing.
Exactly.
Nah, I'm good.
Things you should pass on.
Right. Yeah. So, all right. Now, if you don't know, now you know.
You know. Craig and Keith and the team at Birmingham Broker want you to know if you're looking to get out of your current ride and into something else like a fat check, don't go to the car dealership and get lowballed. And don't meet somebody you don't know in the dark alleyway because you very well may get shanked and not be able to come home to your family. Nobody wants that. It's really as simple as going to bhandbroker.com, filling out some information, get yourself a consultation, come to an agreement, hand them the keys, maybe call Crocker Moving Services and let them move you someplace. Maybe call Units of Birmingham if you got some stuff you need to store. But before you know it, Birmingham Broker will sell your car and sell your car fast so you don't have to. Do business with great people. Great people is Birmingham Broker. bhandbroker.com, bhandbroker.com. You want to take a break, AJ, and we can maximize our next segment? You want to do that? All right.
Let's do it.
Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll get things moving and stored. How about that? This is the
That
Breaking
works.
Bread radio program right here on Birmingham's Real Talk, Talk 99.5. Stay tuned.
You're listening to Breaking Bread on Talk 99.5.
Hey folks, JD here from Redland Rifle.
does. Yeah,
If you're
I was
tired of being
expecting
treated like an
Dave to start on me,
inconvenience instead of family,
did yesterday.
come experience the next generation of service and selection.
Balm in here.
With access to over 80,000 items, we've got you covered like talking
So,
machine
did you
guns. As a
do
former Marine and
logistics
veteran
in
of
the
Iraq
military?
Part 2,
Nope, I was just
I know
a
some
runner.
hills are worth dying
I
on,
literally
and protecting the
had
Second
to
Amendment
work
is one of
for
them.
the chalk.
So if you
It
like
was
supporting
close to my
veteran-owned
house
local
and
businesses with more
place I was
5-star
working for,
reviews
like-
than you can shake
like
a
I
rifle
walked
at,
to work there.
and
I
only
didn't have the best
5%
car,
sales
or didn't
theft,
have a
I mean
car, so I
5% sales tax, call
We,
205-44-BREAD to
actually
connect with
talking about
Redland
it the other
Rifle
day,
and all of our
and I
awesome
was just
sponsors.
David is a real Prevagen
David in
user,
college,
and this is his
loved free
story.
pizza and beer.
Nice to meet
So
you.
much
My
that
name
he
is
was like,
David. I've been a
you know,
pharmacist for
I'm gonna do this
44
I'm gonna see
years,
if people
and I'm
actually give me
from
real
Flowery
money
Branch,
instead of pizza
Georgia.
and beer and just move
When
some
I
stuff.
first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Since we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see and hear lots of lawyer ads. It seems that most are bragging on what they got their clients. But be careful. If you heard that someone sold their car for $500,000, you would be impressed. But if you later learned that it was a rare $10 million Ferrari, would you say that person got screwed? And that's before you even know if it's true. Who is fact-checking? And how much went to medical bills and lawyers' fees? If you want to get an idea what your case may be really worth, visit forthepeople.com and go to Settlements and Verdicts. You will see what a law firm like ours is capable of. And fact-check for yourself. All that glitters is not gold. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. We won big, a lot. At Morgan & Morgan, we represent consumers. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Birmingham business owners, is your online presence holding you back? Inconsistent listings and negative reviews can hurt your business. Third Day Labs, your local experts, uses a state-of-the-art platform to keep your business info accurate across over 200 directories, boosting your visibility in local searches. We also help you generate and manage reviews, turning happy customers into loyal advocates. Save time, cut costs, and grow your business. Visit thirddaylabs.com now to book your free consultation. Third Day Labs, empowering Birmingham businesses online.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-601-7780. 800-601-7780. Don't wait. Call now. 800-601-7780. 800-601-7780.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you want the lowest price. With their lowest price guarantee, if you find a qualifying lower price on the same item, they'll match it. Price match applies to the same item, current price at qualifying retailers, exclusions and terms apply. Learn how they'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Good evening. As we wind down this hump day on the roadways in the Magic City, several crashes are in the clearing stages, including an accident I-65 north at I-2059 exit 231. Another crash where the off-ramp was partially blocked, Red Mountain Expressway north at I-2059. There's a crash blocking the right shoulder, Highway 280 west at Alabama 119 Cahaba Valley Road. And we did have road closure due to an accident. I-65 south between Highway 31 exit 231 and Alabama 25 exit 228.
Listen to us on your radio. Download our app. Or just tell your smart speaker to play Talk 99.5. This is Talk 99.5.
And that's where we did training from.
All right, stand by. Mike's hot.
I love when stuff happens. Makes me smile. I hope you're tuned into the live stream, everybody.
Yeah.
You got a little bonus footage today.
Yeah, you did.
That music playing, gentlemen, means that it's time for just we want to give people the opportunity to get to know y'all. You know, so it's just 5 random questions, maybe 6. No wrong answers. We encourage you to say stupid stuff though, because we like to laugh at each other. You know, it's that kind of program. So since AJ talks about you each and every day and probably knows you the best, you may have the inside scoop. Let's start with you, brother.
All right. Okay. Let's see. This question that both of y'all can go ahead and answer. Let's see. Best place to go get you a good slice of pizza, because I heard over the conversation during the break. You know, you pay people with pizza when you help people move. So this is a question that you both can answer. What's your best type of pizza?
You talking about where to go?
Where to go, and if you go, what you ordering?
I mean, I would say for me it'd be slice, probably slice or post office pies, and then probably some type of meat lovers.
Meat lovers,
Nice.
okay.
Nice. So mine would be a place in Clear called Bertoloni's.
Big fan of Sonia.
Yes.
Yeah, very, very good. And I get the keto pizza. So they actually make one of the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where is that? I used to live in Clear.
It's in the Walmart shopping center over there by Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, okay.
The former owners of Joe's Italian, the family that started Joe's Italian.
I gotcha.
They still have the original strawberry cake recipe. It's fantastic.
Cool.
Yep. JD?
Since one of you is a mover and one of you is a storer, weirdest thing you've moved, weirdest thing you've stored.
Okay, I would say that the weirdest thing probably I moved, probably a phone booth from the UK. Like we're talking the old red, like Austin Powers.
Like
Right.
a TARDIS?
It was. I mean, it was in Mountain Brook. It's been like almost 20 years. It was heavy, not as heavy as I would have thought, but somebody had it and they brought it over, and some relative. I don't remember the full story, but this is like 06 probably. So random thing.
Yeah, the thought of the first container we actually delivered when we opened up, we stored a gentleman's clothes, and he would come out every season to change everything out.
Really?
Yes. I mean that.
Wait a minute, he changed his whole wardrobe?
He had a lot of clothes.
I mean,
Oh, wow.
I had a truck years ago on a move. Again, I feel old saying this because I don't feel old, but we had if the wardrobe box, standard wardrobe box is about 2 feet wide and 4 feet tall. We had a truck, a 26-foot box truck, full floor to ceiling with just wardrobe boxes. The house had a lot of clothes.
Wow.
So,
Lord have mercy. So what's tell me the number one way that customers try to get over on y'all in your respective businesses?
Tim, I'll let you go first because I have some. Yours is a little bit easier than me.
You know, it's probably, hey, look, I don't have a lot of stuff. I just need a small container. And then what happens is I need more. So it's one of those things like when someone says I don't have a lot of stuff, that's always a red flag for me.
I can see that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I would say when people try to get over it, they lie about the amount of boxes, bins, or containers by far. You know, it doesn't. We did a move for a law firm about a year and a half ago. They had something like 3,000, mostly banker boxes. We moved. They had some water damage. We were moving it from one floor to another. I don't remember the full story, but we adequately staffed. We had the people, and it wasn't that big a deal. Yeah, we're moving wherever 2,000 or 3,000 boxes, but we knew in advance. It's when you think that there's 50 boxes and you get there and there's 150, or you think you're moving 5,000 pounds, and you get there and there's 10,000 pounds. It's crazy the amount of people, and we're talking highly educated people that
Right.
do that sometimes. Highly educated, like this guy's a cardiologist or something. He's great at what he does, but he's not a mover.
Right.
So it probably costs less to just be honest up front. Because if you've got to bring people in at the last minute, or it's way more than, I mean,
Less
they don't
heartache.
they don't just get that for free.
Yeah, it's less heartache. Yeah. If you got to put a roof on a house or something, the roofer's going to come out and measure it, and okay, the pitch of the roof is X. And I'm not a roofer or whatever, but
Right.
whatever they have to do for that, it's the same thing with us. We just want to know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my case is more about their budget. If they need another container, it's going to cost them more. So if they don't, if they say I don't have a lot of stuff, and we have to put 4 containers for them, put not a lot of stuff.
Changing the address they want it to go to, or something.
Changing the address, or
or the time.
Cars in the way, we can't get to the container. That happens a lot. Container's locked, and we can't. And it's supposed to be empty. We can't pick it up.
Mm.
So those will cost because we have to pay to go there. I have to pay my drivers, and and it's just one of those things that it's in our contract. We try not to enforce it that much if we can get around it, but it's one of those things. I never thought I would witness some of the things I've witnessed during this process.
Well, we about blew through this break we were supposed to take. So
No,
we didn't.
No.
We're good?
You good?
Oh, I looked at the wrong. Okay,
coming up.
Sorry,
Yeah, no,
I was trying to be
It's the clock that says Central Daylight Time, sir.
yeah.
Oh.
It's been quite the day. No, and I can relate to those things. It doesn't happen very often. I always send a little bit of extra food, but on more than one occasion, somebody's known that they were going to have 150 people there, and ordered food for 90, and then want to call and cuss me because they ran out of food. So,
I'm guessing you put that in the contract. We are feeding X amount of
absolutely.
And I know as we get ready to go to the bottom of the hour, I did have this question. What's the heaviest and furthest thing you move, Eric? And then for you, what is the one thing you're like, nah, we can't store that real quick? Let's see if you can answer that in about 30 seconds.
Okay, I can tell you if we're not talking any special equipment, because we need to move in a part of Birmingham one time where we had to have a crane company come out and move a baby grand like up on some finished attic. But outside of that, it'd be like a large safe or a rolling toolbox that was 2,000 some pounds or something.
It was Leland's, wasn't it?
No, it was not his. No, his was heavy, but it was 1,300 pounds maybe. I remember it, but it wasn't that.
Wow.
Yeah, any type of explosives.
Oh man,
I mean,
yeah. That would
If
be
you get
a
any of
no-no
that,
for
let me
as well,
know.
too.
Yeah,
I can come and help with that.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take this break. You're listening to Breaking Bread here on Talk 99.5.
Yeah, we're going to go to break too on the stream.
Sorry. Welcome back into the Breaking Bread radio program. If your roof has been on fire, don't call me unless you want to eat a cheeseburger while you watch the people fix on your roof. But if you need somebody to fix on your roof because it's got some damage, reach out to the roofing professionals at Noto Roofing, because Noto knows roofing, Noto roofing.com. If you tell them the Breaking Bread crew sent you, you can get yourself a worry-free, risk-free, hassle-free roof evaluation and tune-up. You know, we've had a lot of storms and whatnot lately, and they've got some more coming in. So, you know, if you got a little water leakage, you know, call them. Let them come on your roof and check it out. And what's the tune-up part? The tune-up part is if, you know, there's a little bit of water coming in because a roofing nail is up farther than it should be, they're just going to grab a hammer and knock that down for you. They're not replacing tiles or whatever on your roof for free. It's not that kind of deal. But do business with good people. Noto Roofing. Noto roofing.com. So I'm very interested, Eric, to know, I hate moving stuff.
I feel you. I feel your pain.
What the hell is wrong with you? Like, what was like, you know what? I'm going to move stuff for a living and be awesome at it.
Well, this wasn't what I thought I was going to do. Okay. I didn't think, I thought most of my family, extended and, you know, immediate family, they've got advanced degrees, and then there's me. You know, I was the black sheep of the
You're the smart one.
Maybe. It depends on, I mean, most of them have pretty good degrees, I would say, but yeah, I just, you know, I was in the reserves and the Marines, and I got out of infantry school. I needed a job. I did not have the most dependable transportation, and I literally just walked to work sometime because there was a place that was close to me, and my idiot buddies were, you know, getting, you know, minimum wage jobs working fast food. There's nothing wrong with that, but I wanted to make more money, and I was like, hey, I can do this. And then I just worked at different companies over the years, and ultimately I decided to start my own thing 9-something years ago.
That's awesome.
But I mean, what made you stay in this industry though? Because you could have done anything else. Like, but you just said, you know what? I'm gonna make this into a business.
Story, but yeah, I mean, I thought I had Clifton's version. I was a contractor for a large company when Trinity Hospital moved to Grandview. I was one of the contractors that they brought in for that. I was not a nice man when I was on a job, but the nicest one's not the always the one who gets it done. Like, look at what Nick Saban did at Alabama. Love him or hate him, you know, he got results. And so the guy that I worked for, I was technically an independent contractor, and he was not my boss because, again, I was a contractor. He was like my dispatcher. He got me to work. He screwed me out of some money. I can't legally prove it or something.
Sure.
But I was like, you know what? You know, I'm going to try to start my own business. And, you know, he's not smarter than me. He just had a lot more money than I did because he had a rich daddy, and which cool, nothing wrong with that. But he didn't have the problem with moving. A lot of people that get into certain businesses, like I would never go try to be a plumber. I know a couple great plumbers, but I wouldn't do that. There are industries that it's hard to get into if you don't have any type of background, because I had basically a decade of experience when I decided I was going to start this.
Right.
So, but we started debt free, and that's how we try to operate too.
That's amazing. And Tim, I'd like for you to answer the same question, obviously about but about units. But I just want to say, you know, we've been talking lately, Eric, about the fact that you're only using U.S.-made moving blankets.
Well, so I want to. Sorry.
Okay, listen. I have a history of saying the wrong thing, so
yeah, no worries. So we tried. I was telling AJ. So we try to buy American as much as possible. Like the T-shirt I'm wearing is made in America. The T-shirts that my movers wear are made in America. And I would say we're probably the only company that's doing that probably in Alabama at least. But you can't buy USA-made moving blankets because the textile industry has basically shut down in America over the last 30 or so years. I believe that'll change in a few years. But every other piece of equipment that we can buy, we do buy in America, made in America.
Well, whatever it is, how much of it is, I appreciate the fact that you're willing to spend an extra buck or two to keep it at home. We have very much have.
The Bungees are from Ohio. You'll like that.
Was born in Akron. There you go. Yeah. Same hospital as LeBron and Steph Curry. Coincidentally, I like to think that I left some of my basketball skills there, and that's where they got theirs.
Yeah.
So LeBron, Steph, send a brother a few bucks. It'd be cool. Just saying.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well.
Yeah. Tim, what about you? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. I was about to just kind of transition to Tim. You know, you're doing the units. What separates you and your business from all the other unit companies that's out there?
Well, we're a family-owned business. My son and I started it about 3 years ago.
Sorry, that was a little loud, but I'm a big fan of family-owned business.
You know, in the way I got into this business, and I'll come back to you, AJ, on that one, but because I want to talk about my son. I was a computer engineer, graduated at Georgia Tech.
We don't hold that against you, though.
I understand. I know the ACC doesn't have a place here in Alabama, but
OHIO.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that, you know, and I retired when I was 50. I was out. I spent 2 years staring at computer screens and at the walls and did all the honey-do list at home and really got bored. And my son.
I don't have that problem, thankfully.
Yeah. And so I had my son was coming back home, and I said, "Why don't we start something together?" So I researched it, and I really like the engineering behind what we have. I think it's the engineer in me saw the differentiators. We have a special robotic tool that lifts the container off the truck and rolls it into place and has a 90-degree turn either way. So we can place containers in tight spaces that others cannot. Our containers are all steel, no leaks, no plastic.
And they're patented too, right, Tim?
They are not. We get
the RoboLift. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The Robo. That was maybe what it was. Yeah. You told me one time.
So it's one of those things that the barrier to entry is high because of the capital cost. I like that about the business, and it gives me an opportunity to teach my son how to grow something. So you know, we've got the best containers, a delivery system like no other, and when you call, you get a decision maker. Likely, I'm going to answer the phone.
Well, and I can tell you that the fact that those containers aren't plastic, and that was when we finally got ready to move the restaurant. As we were moving, because it was this dance. The new building was 18 months behind schedule. I had one of your units parked out back at Chubb Father's for probably 3 months. It was great.
Good.
That's outstanding. I'm watching a video on the little movers.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
It was cool.
I actually, in my head, I had I was thinking maybe y'all were using those. They use them for parking garages now, where they're like 6 inches tall, and they'll come up and just pick the whole car up and
the go jacks, like repo guys will use those.
Yeah,
and mechanics will sometimes.
Yeah, those are all like completely robotic. They run off of whatever's in the floor or whatever, and they're incredible.
Right. I mean, and the golf courses love us too, because the dollies that go in the front are turf tires.
Mm-hmm.
So like the Regions tournament this year, Traditions tournament this year, they used us exclusively. As a matter of fact, I'm going out there tomorrow morning to move a bunch of containers around. I think we have 11 out there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Attach that to a food truck.
I know.
For real.
That would be nice right there. Now, so how did this partnership get together? How did y'all come together?
So Tim was looking for a mover, and we had a conversation, I guess probably on the phone. He called my office, and one of the ladies, Miss Katrina, was like, "Hey, you should call this guy. He wants to talk to y'all." So we had a conversation, and I was like, "Hey, I think we can work together." And it's like, let's get together. We had lunch with my marketing director, Leonard, and it works out really well, because what I always tell people is, if you're closing on the 5th and you don't get to your new place till maybe the 15th or the 20th of the next month, there's a lot of great storage facilities, brick and mortar wise, that you can go to, and there's tons of them in Birmingham Metro, and we go there pretty regularly. But if you're, hey, I need access to it regularly, that's probably your best option. But if it's, hey, I just need to store it, then let's load it one time, unload it one time. You're not loading it onto a truck, repeating the process in reverse down the line when you unload it and go. So it saves people money a bunch of times.
And that's a good point, Eric. I mean, when you touch furniture, no matter how good you are, you always have wear and tear on it. So if you only have to touch it twice rather than 4 times, it's going to save your conditions of your furniture.
So the idea is that, Eric, y'all will load the units up, and then
Yes.
y'all just come and pick them up.
That's correct.
Okay.
And his team is fantastic. When you're loading a container, it's the space above your chin that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
really
want to fill
maximize
up every nook, crevice, and cranny because I've seen people that will load, like I'll unload containers sometimes. I've seen people do that, and you get out there and you can tell the containers that are either professionally mover packed or somebody at least maybe they worked at. I've got a friend that he works at FedEx and he's never been a mover, but I helped him move some stuff and this joker knew how to load a truck, but he'd been working at FedEx for 25 years, and it's the same thing, versus is it 2 containers, then it could have gone in 1 or something similar.
So it's really less about being a Marine and more that you were just really good at blocks
I
back in the
Tetris.
day.
I played
No, he
Tetris
was
a
really
lot
good at
of
Tetris.
So,
Tetris is his game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I joke that we do for a living every day. So we just play Tetris.
I tell you what the restaurant and food truck community need that you guys would probably be experts in. Maybe on the technology part, you have to bring in JD or something.
Yeah, that ain't made for technology.
But if you, I see it every day, and I don't go to Restaurant Depot nearly as much as I used to. But there are hundreds and hundreds of restaurateurs and food truck owners that go to Restaurant Depot every day or a couple times, a week, and they get their product exclusively from there. And I can't tell you the number of times, I've helped squeeze something else in but if you could have an app that okay, I drive this car and the app already knows what the storage capability of it is. If there was some way that you guys, and then you'd have to have a full product list. If you could scan your cart and it would tell you if all the crap will fit in your car.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
You would, you definitely, it'd be awesome to do that, but it depends on, are you driving some little bitty, what's a small SUV, like a Ford Escape, or
Sure.
you driving like an F-350?
Absolutely, and that's where the difficult part would come in is you would have to have the dimensions of all these different vehicles so that you could select the type of vehicle that you're using. But yeah, if you could, and then take it a step further, maybe even and show them how to pack it, it would really save people a whole lot of time at Restaurant Depot.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that. We actually have that app on our website. So you go in and get your inventory, what you have, beds, couches, whatever, and you put your inventory in, and it shows you how to pack, how much space you're going to need, how many containers you need to hold everything.
That's awesome.
Now, an augmented reality app like that, where you just walk in and scan it, and it knows the dimensions of those things, that would be.
There are
does it
some
do that?
things out there, and that's something we're looking at. Some of the, we'll say, really large companies, because I'm just in, Metro Birmingham and Homewood, but some of the really large moving companies, they have some proprietary technology. We're looking into some of that, but it's not quite there yet.
Yeah,
what we want.
That'd be really sexy.
But sorry to interrupt, AJ.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
When you're packing a container, packing a moving truck or your vehicle, make sure your boxes are sealed up and make sure they're all roughly. They don't have to be the same size, but they need to cube off. And for the love of God, please make sure they're sealed. Sorry, that's my sermon for the day.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
So no milk cartons is what you're saying.
Ideally not. You can move dumbbells or barbells in those. Those are actually pretty good because they're pretty sturdy.
Right. There you go. That's a great tip.
Well, I was just gonna think. I was thinking about the storage units. Do they all come in different sizes, or are they just one particular size, and you just gotta buy multiple depending on what you're trying to store?
Our most popular size is 16 foot by 8 by 8, but we do have a 12. 12 holds about a 1-bedroom apartment. The 16 can hold about a 2-bedroom apartment, about 1,200 square feet of normal space.
Yeah. Can I jump in on something, Tim? So when he's saying about a 1-bedroom apartment, it also depends on, is it a 1-bedroom apartment that, say, like a 21-year-old college girl has, or is it some sweet old lady that's lived in her condo or apartment for 20 or 30 years?
It's been a pack rack.
It says I don't have much stuff.
Yeah, and it's like each sofa is not the same weight. Same thing, like you might have a dresser that you got from IKEA, which there's nothing wrong with that, or you might have gotten some solid oak piece of furniture you got from Lanya's Furniture, for example. They make a difference on weight and size.
So size matters.
Yes.
Okay.
In that.
Yeah. So I throw that in there. And then is it and does the unit stay on location? Because I know Will said he had his unit there for a couple of months.
I think it was.
Or
Go ahead. Sorry, AJ.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
no,
we-
yeah, I was
we've
just
got-
saying,
we've
or,
got different
does it-
scenarios. I mean, we
Okay.
can move, we can bring a unit to your location. It get loaded by Eric's team, or you can load it yourself at your own pace. I don't recommend that, and then we can move it to the next location, or it can come back to our climate control facility for storage. So we do both.
Okay.
Yeah, some people like the storage option, or they just, hey, they're redoing their hardwood floors. We just want to get this stuff out of here. It's different things for different folks.
That's awesome.
Now, do y'all ever do like those when people don't pay on their storage unit? Do y'all ever do like auctions on their stuff?
That was my question too.
Yeah, I haven't been on storage wars yet, but and fortunately, I've only had to repo one since being in business, and what we did was just bag up everything that was in there and just set it on the front porch and get the unit and take it back home. But we do have it in our contract. If you're delinquent, then we go through a process, and then we can auction off. So I hope I don't have to go through that. But
Oh, Units Wars.
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Storage Wars. Love that show.
It is a good show.
Yeah.
Love it.
I haven't watched in a while.
I've always wanted to bid on it. I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to bid on the random contents of something. But I also want to buy, I'm also the guy that wants to buy one of the pallets of stuff from Walmart and Amazon just to see what comes in the boxes and how much I could flip it for. It just seems.
Yeah.
I feel like knowing Tim, right? Maybe you could ask him what's in that unit before. Like, hey, who'd you get this from?
Were they rich?
Do you have a manifest for this real quick? If you just set that on the table right there and walk away or whatever, let me just check this out.
Oh man, we got to take a break. But when we come back, I want to make sure that we give everybody else information and let them know how they can get in contact with you if they need your respective services.
That's awesome.
This is the Breaking Bread radio program. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to
What up? Welcome back in to Breaking Bread Radio, right here on Birmingham's Real Talk 99.5. Before we get out of here, thank the both of you for coming and sitting down and hanging out with us. You're more than welcome anytime. Just let us know. but let the people know how they can get in touch with you. I feel like they got a pretty good idea about Eric. They hear him, on several shows, including this one. Tim, we would love to talk about units on the Breaking Bread radio program every day. It's way more affordable.
day.
It's way more affordable than you think. I know by our setup and our professionalism, you probably think it's just like through the roof expensive, but
No hard sell, right?
no, let folks know how they can get in touch with you guys.
Sure, it's easy. It's unitsofbirmingham.com. You can get a free quote online, or you can call the number. I'll be glad to talk to you.
All right, and if you want to call a mover, we'll move you across the hall or across the country. Go to crockermovingservices.com. That is crockermovingservices.com, or you can call us at 205-721-3538, and we'll get you an estimate.
So I have a
Hey, I
question.
did have a question.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
dang. Please don't be this question I'm about to ask.
Well, no, mine was about the 2-hour rate.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I did have one about sometimes I want to be lazy. Can I hire y'all to like move me from place to place and room to room?
Yeah,
I mean, I know
you
you got the
can.
2-hour rate. I just want to know if I can, if that's possible.
AJ's making a lot more money over there in the studio than I thought.
Yeah, we
Just
happy-
saying.
we
I'm just
happy to
saying.
do that.
Well, I actually have two questions then. Can we be in the next Crocker Moving Service commercial? I mean, because I can drop stuff as good as AJ.
Yeah,
Okay, I think we can make that happen.
And before you ask your second question,
Yes.
so to the other Eric out there that called in last night about the 249, I found that. Just give us a call at the store, 205-941-7772, and let me know if you want to pick that up. They've got 2 left, and we can get that relatively quickly for you.
Make that happen, Eric. Let's do it. The second question is the 2-hour rate. Is it just like a standard 2-hour rate, or does it depend on what is being moved in those 2
It's
hours?
pretty much you're just paying by the hour, but it can depend on if you need a piano just moved from one part of the house to the other, there's going to be a little bit of an extra fee, and that depends on the size of the piano, the amount of manpower needed, but yes.
I just think that that's such a phenomenal thing. Just being able to have somebody come move a few things and not have to worry about it. And I don't know. I haven't heard of another moving company
I don't think there is one. I'm
doing that.
That's one of the appealing things and easy things to refer Eric is that if you just only have a single container, you may fall within that 2-hour minimum.
Yeah, that's what we tried for.
So I think my only disappointment here is that we didn't get into the hiring practices.
We didn't.
Man.
We try not to hire snowflakes or people that are soft. I mean, I just tell people in some of the interviews, if you didn't play a contact sport or at least some type of team sport, this may not be the job for you. And if that offends you, you're free to leave. If you want calluses, we can get you calluses. If you want more calluses, we can get you more calluses.
So it sounds like we may take somewhat of the same approach where you try to scare them off.
Yeah, I'd rather have
yeah.
someone. I mean, I've worked at companies in the past. They would try to almost kill someone the first day or so that they know, hey, this old boy's going to be here. And I've known construction companies that would do the same thing.
Right.
It's just you rather have someone that's going to be there.
Right.
Well, I mean, I can't even imagine what it to really get somebody trained up. Like I know in the restaurant business, you're going to spend
Couple months maybe
at least $1,000, if not $2,000, getting somebody to the point where they can just do a little bit of the stuff without being instructed on how or when or why.
They can tie both their shoes without being told how to do it. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in my business, we do deal with heavy machinery. We have a remote control robo tool, so if you're good at video games, you're probably good at this. I mean, honestly,
Sure.
But our trucks you don't have to have a CDL license. It helps if you do, and you just have to be dependable.
Just show up, not drunk or high.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Tim, I did have a question for you. So let's say a dad just needs some time to like go get away. Can he like rent out one of your units and put a bed in there with a TV so he gets?
I've got a man cave special.
I was just getting ready to ask if you have a unit cave. I mean, because that would be dope AF if you could just rent you some personal space for a little while
Like
and
football
have
season.
like have it come furnished, with the TV, a few sofas in it. Yeah, well, yeah, that's awesome.
I think that's a good
I
service.
bet Lanius could outfit that thing.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
good, yeah.
That'd
Call
be-
Chubb Fathers and get your food delivered for it.
Right.
See?
Just call it Redland Man Cave. Something like that. powered by units.
Yeah, let's just look. I see that's business. Just took somebody else's idea and just put your name on top of it. I love it.
Look, one of y'all was gonna do it. I just figured I'd do it first.
What's the saying in business? You don't have to come up with it. You just got to be first.
Right.
Nope. If you ain't first, you last. There you go. All right, gentlemen. Hey, appreciate y'all being on Breaking
Thanks
Bread.
for having us.
So
Till tomorrow.
Love everybody.